Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a look at the very fascinating Undead that sadly hasn't been used in the anime. We only really have seen it for like 5 seconds and then it became irrelevant again. Of course I'm talking about the Elemental Skull, an undead magic spell thrower. But before we're going to take a closer look at all of this, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. Also please check out my fantasy channel. This time we will take a closer look at piloted power suits and why they would actually make quite a lot of sense in a sci-fi setting where autonomous drones and modern tanks also exist. And with all of that said, let's dive into the power of the Elemental Skull. And we will start with its summoning, for it can only be called upon by summoning 10th tier undead, meaning it is just as powerful of a summoning as for example the Doom Lord of Ainz Ooal. But while the Doom Lord could go toe-to-toe with Platinum's armor for a limited amount of time and yet overpower it for an even shorter amount of time, the Elemental Skull couldn't. For this level 68 monster does not only lack one very critical level, but is also devoid of any close-range battle skills and defenses. It has very little HP, almost no physical or magical defense, and isn't exactly quick either. But while it is very weak in the terms of melee stats, the Elemental Skull is nonetheless extremely valuable, because it has access to all nature elements, so fire for example, and it can use even 10th tier spells, like for example Vermilion Nova, the spell that Sheltier Bloodfallen used to roast Ainz Ooal back in their little fight, or Frostclaw. Similar to Vermilion Nova, this Ice Claw based attack has the highest damage output of all ice based spells, just like Vermilion Nova is the strongest fire based attack in terms of raw damage output. Furthermore, the Elemental Skull could utilize the spell Mist of Super Acid, as the name suggests, a highly corrosive spell that would dissolve normal metal platings in seconds. So for example, nearly every single piece of armor shown in the entirety of the anime would also nearly instantly be dissolved and vaporized by it, including the adamantite armor of Momon. But wait, there's still more. Elemental Skull uses all of its attack, all of its spells, with Maximize Magic enabled. And Maximize Magic is meta magic, aka magic that affects one's own magic. And it will always cause any spell to put out the maximum amount of damage. In Overlord and Dungeons and Dragons for that matter, the amount of damage is to a limited degree dependent on luck and RNG. So for example, the damage of let's say Vermilion Nova will always be between 6 and 36 points of damage. Maximizing Magic will now cause the damage to be always 36 points of damage, meaning it will always cause the highest possible amount of damage, thus eliminating any RNG and luck. This type of meta magic, together with the powerful 9th and 10th tier spells the Skull is capable of casting, turns it into a formidable foe if it is properly defended, meaning that if it is let's say for example a Doom Lord that is fighting the melee battle for Ainz Ooal, and behind Ainz Ooal itself is there to, if necessary, enter melee battle for a brief amount of time, or buff his summonings with skills and heal them with negative energy, the Skull, behind the very end of the battle formation, would be very effective, showering the enemy with many deadly spells. And indeed, Pandora's actor figured out that the best way for a build like Ainz Ooal to defeat Platinum Dragonlord's armor would be to spam damage-dealing elemental type of damage attacks in order to drain its HP, while Platinum's armor is kept busy in melee. But this did not happen. The Doom Lord and the Elemental Skull fought, at least in the novels, the armor of Platinum Dragonlord separately, so that Pandora, who had disguised himself as Ainz Ooal, could get a very clear, accurate picture of the damage each individual attack could deal. Remember, Pandora's actor has casted Life Essence at the very beginning of the battle for precisely this reason. Catching the HP-dependent mechanic behind Wild Magic was just a coincidence. And that's why the very vulnerable level 68 Elemental Skull had to fight on its own in melee against Platinum's armor, which of course quickly led to its destruction. And with the skills and powers now covered, let's dive into some more lore. Because the Elemental Skull could have been inspired from the skeletalized head of a Beholder, a very iconic monster from Dungeons and Dragons, a so-called Death Tyrant, who is a formidable undead in and of itself. So once again, behind this very mundane and not very impressive looking summon, a whole lot of lore can be found in the novels and the wider world of Dungeons and Dragons. And as usual, it would have been great if we could have seen this undead actually firing some spells and at least get hit by Platinum once, who just skipped over this thing entirely, making the summoning irrelevant in the anime. And with all of that said, now it's your turn. Let me know your opinions about the Elemental Skull down in the comment section. Anyway, have a nice day, and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, Bad Guy Yee, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Moreno, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Phantom, Personage, Primus 11, Q Necaricos P, Shergox is Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenukai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.